What's up, ladies and gentlemen, everyone between Hooker here, and today is story time. Story time as to why my Toyota Supra is faded.
I'm faded.
Now, I took my car to Tuffy Auto Service.
Gary?
No, Gary, no! No, Gary, no! No, Gary!
Where, because my car wasn't running right, it was going ka-choo, 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 ka-choo. And I couldn't figure out to save my life. Now I built this car, but this one little problem I could not figure out because everything underneath this car is brand new. So I take it in here because they do the free inspections.
Foreign car, huh? That's a Tuffy.
Tuffy Auto Service off Tamiami and whatever. I'll put the address down below. Never, ever in your life go to them, okay? We all know how valuable Toyota Supras are. We all know how collectible they are.
Toyota Supra. It's taken everything sports cars were before and crossed the line.
You think I would spend this much money on a car just to have my car look like this? I wouldn't. Now, so they tell me that my fuel ECU computer isn't working. I'm like, okay. I had to cut the wires to the ECU, and it shouldn't read. It should be saying that that's not there. So we replaced the fuel computer. Me full well knowing it's not that. But I was like, all right, let's try it out anyway. Said I've spent over $5,000 at this fucking shitty place. Okay, $5,000. I even reconnected the wires to see if it wasn't that. The car still went boom, 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 boom. Then they tell me it's the turbos. I'm like, wait, what? Why would it be the turbos? Wait, what? How did we go from the fuel ECU to the turbos?
Okay, here's your estimate.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's a toughie.
All right, let's replace the turbos. So, you guys know Toyota Supra parts aren't easy to find, let alone cheap. So I replaced the turbos. Car starts blowing smoke out the back. I'm like, what the fuck? They have to take the turbos out because one of the gaskets that they put in wasn't right, and they fucking shimmied in some random ass gasket into it. So my car just started blowing smoke. Then they tell me, oh, maybe your head gasket's out. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can clearly see the gasket leaking, the turbo gasket leaking. I'm like, it's the turbo gasket. No, they're like, no, it's your head gasket. I'm like, are you? At this point, I'm like, just get this shit done. I need my car.
Finding the right parts.
Should have taken your car.
That's a toughie.
So they replaced the head gasket. Didn't need to be replaced. My head gasket was fine. I looked at it. It was fine. I'm like, I finally say fuck this, because I'm already $3,000 something into it. They do some more diagnostic work. They send my car to another shop. The other shop tells them it's the ECU. I'm like, they took it to an import shop. They say it's the ECU. I'm like, I've known it was the ECU the entire time. I've known it was the ECU. So they tell them it's the ECU. They're like, no, it's probably the fuel pressure regulator. I'm like, this other shop just told you it was the ECU. I've told you it was the ECU. They're like, no, I think it's a new pressure regulator. So another $400 later, we put in a fuel pressure regulator. We turn the car on. The car starts running fine for literally, like, it's running. I'm like, holy shit, maybe it might have been that. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it here and I'm gonna watch it run, because I don't want to take it home and then something happens and you guys blame it on me or some shit. The car just starts acting up. It's like, boom, 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 boom. Didn't fix the problem. I'm like, so I go online and I buy the ECU myself. We put it in the car, and wouldn't you know, the car's running fine. Ain't that some shit? I get the car home and I look underneath it, and it's just pouring fluid out of the transmission. There's fluid just pouring out of my transmission, because my car, when I'm backing it up, I'm like, whoa, what the f is going on? So I take it back there. I'm like, y'all gotta fix this. I don't know what you've been doing with my car when I haven't been looking. But y'all gotta fix this right now. They're like, oh, it's fuel and there's fuel in your engine. I'm like, no, that's transmission fluid. What the fuck are you guys talking about? So they take out all the coil packs, they pull out all the spark plugs, and sure enough, there's fucking fuel in my engine. And there's transmission fluid fucking leaking out of my transmission. It's like someone fucking took my car for a fucking joyride. So they're like, okay, we gotta get the fuel out of the engine first to see what's going on. So when they disconnect all the spark plugs and everything, all the coil, they had this open. They told me to turn on the car because they didn't want to touch my car anymore. I'm like, I didn't want them touching my car anymore. So fuel sprays all the way up to the ceiling. And the next thing, I'm sitting inside the car, the next thing I see is flames in front of me, just going all the way up, hitting the ceiling. The ceiling's catching on fire, and all this fuel just falls back onto top of my car, on top of my fucking car. And the whole car catches on fire.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Y'all know I love my car. Y'all know this is my baby. I love my Supra. So I'm ripping off my shirt because I don't see any fire extinguisher. I'm ripping off my shirt, whacking at the car. It's not doing anything. The mechanics there are just sitting there looking like. Just sitting there staring at me. The young mechanics runs over to the fucking fire extinguisher, grabs it, and runs back over and starts spraying the ceiling. I'm like, fuck that. I grab the fire extinguisher out of his hand and just start spraying my car off. I fucking put my car out. I don't give a fuck about the building. I care about my fucking car. It burnt my entire fucking car. Her fucking wheel got completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. These are Racing Hearts limited edition. Like, this is what my paint job normally looks like. You see the shininess? You see the shininess? No, bro. I'm gonna clear coat everything. And then the worst part is they have the audacity to fucking call me on the phone and start cursing me out. I think his name was Jordy or something like that. They start cursing me out. They start cursing me out. Absolutely scumbags. Scumbags. You go there to fix one thing and your car is gonna have 1,000 more problems, I swear to you. Don't go there. The one here, I have the address down below. Yeah, don't ever go to them. Tuffy, just in general as a company, they're rude, there's poor service, shit doesn't get done. I've seen them not change oil filters and fill up oil with regular oil rather than synthetic. They cut a lot of corners. They send cars to other shops to get fixed. They use cheaper parts, cheaper everything. You ever, for some god-awful reason, find yourself there, make sure you're looking, make sure you watch them, because your crap will get fucked up. They completely destroyed my car. Completely destroyed my car. Horrible, horrible company. Horrible, horrible people. Never go there. Never go there. If you can avoid this problem, please do. That's all I'm saying. Run. Never go to that company. Wow. Just wow. Best of luck to you if you found yourself in any Tuffy situation. Like I said, if you ever look at any of the reviews online, it's all people saying negative things.
Don't trust Tuffy with your cars or your vehicles. They'll rob you blind. Plus, they've got terrible customer service.
Everybody says you're no good. Cause you don't do like they think you should. You expect them to act like you.
you won't need it. I can go fast. I can go fast. I won't go.